Great day to be a Mountaineer. You know, that one felt good. That's what our guys needed, you know, for that, you know, confidence to start snowballing in the right direction. It's one thing to get the top 25 win in Texas. It's another thing to you know, be a Hall of Fame coach and top 5 program, you know, at home. So hopefully that goes a long ways to our confidence in terms of moving forward and continuing to grind through the Big 12s, because it really is a grind. So I told those guys before the game, you know, we had a great game plan. I thought we had a great game plan against Oklahoma. I told them you might as well, you know, tear it up and start it on fire if you don't out-rebound them and figure out a way to, you know, be neck and neck with them on the glass. And I said, if we come in here minus 14, minus 15 on the glass, there's no chance for winning. And you know, they heard it loud and clear and out-rebounded them by 9. So that was probably a huge difference in the game.
Questions?
So continue with that a little bit, rebounding. You talked a lot about the problems there. So what was it that led to the +9?
I think it was effort in a lot of ways. I mean, it wasn't, you know, you look at sometimes it's a little bit skewed in terms of the shooting percentages and who's you know, getting those rebounds, but we were neck and neck with shooting percentage, and we shot 52, they shot 53. So yeah, I think you know, we were quicker to the ball in a lot of cases. If you look back to the Oklahoma game, it seemed like they were quicker to everything in that regard as well. So life on the road in this league can be a bear, and I know they had some travel issues or foresaw some travel issues, so they came in a day before and they were here all day yesterday. But yeah, you know, some of that comes into play even sitting around in the hotel all day on a snowy day. So they probably got their rest, but regardless, you know, I felt like we were quicker to the ball in everything we did, and that can, in a game of inches, that can be the difference.
Coach, there were obviously a lot of plays at the end of the game that are going to make the headlines, but the first half kind of stands out to me in the fact that both teams just couldn't really stop each other. Everyone's making, you know, fantastic shots, and the game's tied at halftime. I mean, what can you say about the first half, and then how much did it play into this game?
I'm not gonna lie, I was very concerned. You know, the game plan was, you know, shore up the paint and do everything we can to keep Hunter Dickinson from beating us. You know, as they just force it down low. You know, he ended up with 19 points, but as I said, you know, the one thing that I think KU is challenged with is they. All the guys or all the teams in the league, they don't shoot it all that well, or they don't shoot a high volume of threes. So I said, let's make them shoot us out of this game. If they're going to win, they're going to have to shoot us out of it. And so between Furphy and Timberlake, I mean, I think they had 5 threes between the two of them in the first half, and that ball kept on going down for them. So that was a bit concerning early. But consequently, on the other end, we were filling it up as well. So shots were falling for us, and so that was kind of we were neck and neck. So,
right.
But going into halftime, you look at it, and it's 51 all, and we've had a lot of halftimes where we came out flat and didn't really perform in the second half. But you know, you give up 51 and a half, that's very concerning. And in terms of trying to win a tough, you know, Big 12 match anywhere, whether it be on the road or home.
Josh, what's going through your mind when the students come out on the court?
I didn't really think about it. It was.
Couldn't miss it.
You know, it was. You know, I grew up in Kansas, and I was a Kansas State grad, and my entire kind of a huge Catholic family, and that 95% of people in my family go to Kansas State. So I've watched Big 8 basketball and Big 12 basketball, and KU's been always been a dominant program, and always respected that year in, year out that they were winning big, and so I think the first thing that came to mind is you know, I think about my dad. You know, my dad was a K-State grad, and he didn't have much of a love affair for Kansas by any means, and I lost him 6.5 years ago, and I started thinking about him, to be honest with you. You know, how proud he'd have been, and so I didn't think a lot about what the students were doing. I have a lot of respect for Coach Self, Hall of Fame coach, and their entire staff and their program, and what they've done over the years and been able to accomplish over the years consistently. year in and year out. And for me, you know, that was the first thought that went through my head, and you know, it's probably still hasn't sank in yet.
What was your dad's name?
Jim Eilert.
Jim.
Josh, there'd be a lot of coaches that would get away from what you did, from your game plan after they go 6 for 12 from 3 and or, you know, staying in it like that. Do you all have any thought of that, or are you saying, hey, we've got to live and die with this?
You know, it's as long as we're neck and neck, I was okay with it. If it felt like it was starting to get out of hand, I probably made some adjustments. But I've seen KU, and as quick as they can make a run on you, I tried to, you know, stop that when I felt like it was going in the wrong direction. Try to stop that quick, regardless of trying to, you know. A lot of times I probably get in a bad habit of trying to save too many timeouts, and you know, I think I'm learning as I go to probably need to use those and fire those off early if I can stop those runs and stop that momentum.
Coach, so many disappointments in the last 8 months. Is something like this something you'd like to savor a little bit, maybe a smidge longer, because it's such a high? Yeah,
I'm going to savor it tonight. I promise you that. And savor it with my family, and you know, we've been through a lot. This fan base has been through a lot, and so it's just incredible that, you know, we're 6 and 11 going into this game, and we got 12,000 plus in here supporting us. And yeah, I'm going to savor it, but it's this league. You turn around and you got to prepare for a good Central Florida team. And, you know, KU. I mean, they went in there and had a 16-point lead, and ended up coming out of there with a loss. So I'm going to savor it tonight, but tomorrow it's right back to it to figure out a game plan for Central Florida, because we turn around and leave on Monday and play on Tuesday down in Orlando.
Josh, so Jesse warms up, he's dressed, you didn't play him, I don't know if you ever even really sort of thought about it, but did you think about it, and how close is he to actually getting a game action?
I think he's a lot closer than what I thought he was going to be. I didn't know how the appointment was going to go and how the pictures or whatever it may be, you know, X-ray or MRI, whatever they did, I didn't know how that was going to come out. But he got a good report, but he was in a brace until then, so he hadn't had any movement. You know, we threw him out in practice yesterday, and he was, you know, raring to go and raring to try it out, and wants to do everything he can to help the team. And we went a little bit of 5-on-5, and it was a little bit tender when we started guarding the guys. So we backed off real quick to make sure that we don't, you know, set him backwards. We want to make sure that we have him moving forward, and we don't need to have a setback.
So you weren't tempted today, that decision was already sort of made?
I mean, we had some conversations, Jesse and I said, what happens if we got 2 bigs in foul trouble? It's a tie ball game under 5 minutes. I mean, he's like, Coach, I'll do whatever it takes to win. I don't know if he can be very effective with it, but he's a team guy. He'll do anything for the team to a fault. So, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's right by Jesse and make sure, you know, we don't set him back in terms of his career, his long-term. You know, it's a bigger picture thing with him.
Coach, would you agree that Sumnick outplayed Dickinson tonight?
He was more aggressive, you know. I would say tonight, yes, he got the most of it. You know, I would have never thought, you know, Sumnick would have been, you know, get 15 field goal attempts by any means. But yeah, he was 4 offensive rebounds. He was active, and I was hoping we could put Hunter in every single ball screen we could possibly put him in, and that was kind of the game plan going into it, because guys that size you know, have a hard time, you know, out there on the floor guarding and showing and hedging, and so that was kind of the game plan. Let's make him, put him out there in space, and Pat's a little different in terms of he's not a traditional big, and that kind of worked in our favor in some instances, especially on the offensive end. On the defensive end, certainly you got a mismatch down there, and we do everything we can to fight Hunter, and we had a game plan of doubling him, but because he is such a special player in a low block. So, but yeah, on the offensive end, I think the game plan in terms of attacking him, you know, putting him in those ball screens is the way to go.
Hey, Josh, your lineups now, your starting lineups, are they just reflective of matchup in the game? It's not like a potential will be
it's just going to be like I told this guy, JoJo didn't do anything wrong by any means. He's one of the best team guys we have. He's a program guy, and I brought him in as we're game planning, and I said, JoJo, this might be, it's probably not the best matchup scenarios, and I'm going to start a Cook, and I always try to have those conversations with him before we go into game planning and practice, and he was 100% go with it. He said, do whatever we need to do to win, and that's the type of guys you need in your program, to where they don't hang their head and you know, stew on something like that when it's really just a situational thing that we're, you know, I think we had a better advantage with size down low than having JoJo, which is kind of more of a 3 than it is a 4.
Going forward, then, one of these days you get a 6'11" guy back. You started your 2 centers today. It just seems like this idea that could work. I mean, you have enough parts that you could mismatch. You can match up. I mean, there's so many teams in the league too. They're not all going to be the same.
It helps us more than anything. It helps us put people in their natural positions.
Okay.
You know, Cook and Pat are really natural 4s. You know, Pat's got more strength to him, more size, that he can, you know, handle himself better defensively down low. But, you know, I think what Pat, and I told Pat at the beginning of the year when we never really got a backup 5, I said, the opportunity for you, and I don't know that you wanted to hear it that bad, but the best opportunity for you is to buy in to be that backup 5. And, you know, we had Quinn, we had a Cook, and then we had Pat. So all of those guys are natural 4s. So, you know, we didn't have that position, you know, it got so late in the situation we're in. So, you know, we had to go to him with Jesse down, but we still had to figure out, even with Jesse in the rotation, try to figure out who was going to back him up. But Pat's done an incredible job, and he continues to build on that confidence each and every night, and just getting better and better for us. And you know, some of that is just getting opportunity and taking advantage of the opportunity. He's 100% done that.
You 3 guards pretty much every game. You think you can't see yourself? You can't see yourself snapping out of 3 guards, like 2-point guards. And I guess Raekwon's more of like a 2-3, but.
Yeah, I mean, I love having multiple point guards, you know, in at the same time. That's kind of why I went away from Noah in the starting lineup and went to Kobe. Kobe's got more size and probably better matchups for a lot of these guys defensively in this league. But to bring Noah off the bench to where he can, I think I talked about this before, is he can handle the ball and he can score the ball. So whether Ray gets 2 fouls or Kerr gets 2 fouls, you have an opportunity to shore that up with Noah. He's so versatile. And, you know, he did, I talked about on the radio, he was 0 for 5 from the field, 17 minutes, but he's plus 18. That's how much he affects the game when he's out there. And so you don't always have to, you know, score the ball to be effective, but, you know, he got 4 points, 4 rebounds, 5 points, 4 rebounds, or 4 points, 4 rebounds, and he drew 5 fouls. So he's 6 assists. So it's nice to have him out on the floor, and gives you that versatility with his game.
Coach, one more on the rebounding. It's obviously, you've talked about it since the beginning of the year. You've harped on it after losses, that it's the reason for a lot of losses. Tonight you said it was more effort. You know, I'm thinking about the battles, offensive rebound late, Quinn obviously on the free throw. Those are huge plays. When you talk about the effort, a lot of that, does it come because the other jersey says Kansas, or is there more to it than that? And, I mean, is there any story behind those rebounds? Because, you know, why tonight as opposed to not, you know, last week?
I had a conversation, like I said, like the story I said about the game plan, you might as well tear it up and burn it, put it on fire if you don't have a rebound. The other thing I said is, like, they're one of the best offensive transition teams, and we watched the Oklahoma tape, and we got guys in no man's land. Then we got guys that aren't getting back or crashing. So I said, make a decision. If you're not going to crash, you're not going to give us an extra possession, which nobody other than Pat in that game gave us an offensive rebound. If you're going to do, get back. Don't just get caught up in no man's land to where they're going downhill and we didn't even try for the offensive rebound. So, I mean, I harped on it pretty hardcore, and it resonated with them. So, credit to them in terms of you know, positively reacting and taking that to heart.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.